Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu. So today I am also going to take a very small sutta which I personally like, and I'm going to share the document. Just let me know if this document you are able to get, because last time I think there was a confusion, and what happens is that the document, when it is sent, if there is a new participant who comes, then they will not be able to see the document which was shared before. That is a kind of a limitation of the Zoom, or maybe because of security reason or whatever. So this has been, maybe I have not hit the send. I can see this. Now I see this has been sent. So last time also I may have done this mistake. I have uploaded the document over here, but I did not send. So now you should be able to see the document. So that is a sutta. In Pali, this is Naga Sutta, bull elephant. One way of kind of translating Naga is a shape-shifting snake. Another translation of Naga is just a snake, a normal snake, or a cobra. In the modern language, when we are talking about Naga in India, we are talking about the snake cobra. Then when Buddha is talking about Naga, he is mostly mentioning a Arahant. So there are different ways a word Naga is translated in Pali. So when we are doing the sharing of merits, Devas and Nagas of mighty power share this merit of ours. So what it means is Naga is the Arahants who are there currently in maybe the Brahmaloka. They were anagamis. They had gone there. They have attained arahantship, but they have some life left over there. And after that, they will pass away from that realm. So that is the explanation of the title. Because a certain time it may be kind of confusing that if this is a Naga Sutta, then why is it a bull elephant? So the Buddha is giving a teaching of some qualities of the bull elephant first. Students, possessing 4 factors, a king's bull elephant is worthy of a king, an accessory of a king, and reckoned as a factor of kingship. What for? A factor of kingship means that the king is considered to be a king. What category of king the king is there is based on what are the kind of armies he has. He has an army of cavalry. He has an army of foot soldiers. He has an army of archers. He has an army of bull elephants. So it is also a factor of kingship. So what are the kind of elephants a king should have that he can be proud of them? Here a king's bull elephant is one who listens, one who destroys, who patiently endures, and who goes. So there are some 4 qualities an elephant should have. He is supposed to listen, destroy, patiently endure, and go where it is asked to go. So this is explained more by the Buddha. And how students is a king's bull elephant, one who listens. Here, whatever task the elephant trainer sets for it, whether or not it has ever done it before, the king's bull elephant heeds it, attends to it, directs his whole mind to it, and listens with eager eyes. It is in this way that a king's bull elephant is one who listens. And how is a king's bull elephant one who destroys? Here, when a king's bull elephant has entered the battle, it destroys the elephants and elephant riders. It destroys horses and cavalry. It destroys chariots and charioteers. It destroys infantry. It is in this way that a king's bull elephant is one who destroys. So one interesting fact about the elephants in battle is that when the Greek Alexander the Great, the king who was conquering the whole world, came to India, he was really surprised to see that the elephants are used in battle. Later on, the Greeks kind of adopted it as a kind of animal of war. But when they first encountered the elephant, they were really kind of surprised by the use of them, and they were really kind of afraid of the battle with the elephants. Eventually, they won the battle, but they kind of were very kind of diminished in power, that they could not continue their kind of campaign in India, and he had to return after the soldiers kind of refused to fight. That battle he won, but kind of his spirits kind of were broken. So the battle, it is a kind of a, in India, it is considered to be a kind of a royal animal, because once you have to have an elephant, you have to kind of take care of it, and you have to kind of feed it. So that is also a kind of a factor of elephant. And one interesting fact about elephant I found out was that in Thailand, the king would present somebody who he dislikes an elephant, because the elephant is considered to be a symbol of great honor. So the elephant had to be taken care of by the owner of that elephant. It had to be fed in a certain manner. It had to be taken care of. There had to be servants to kind of take care of an elephant. So it would financially be very much burdensome to the person. So if the king did not like somebody and he could not directly punish him, then he would present him an elephant. So he could not even refuse the king's present. So that is one interesting fact. Anyways, the third factor for an elephant to be an elephant is, and how is a king's bull elephant one who patiently endures? Here, when a king's bull elephant has entered the battle, it patiently endures being struck by spears, swords, arrows, and axes. It endures the thundering of drums, kettle drums, conches. Conches are big shells. They are used in battle. They are called shank, and normally you will see in movies, Indian movies, where the battle is started. It is started with a noise of the couch and tom-toms. It is in this way that a king's bull elephant is one who patiently endures. So when the king's elephant is in a battle, he actually destroys whatever is there in its path, but it also endures, because if you are in a battle, if you can hurt the enemy also hurts you. And then all these methods to startle the elephant is employed. That is, the sounds are there, spears and arrows and axes, and then drums, all are used to kind of harm the elephant, but he has to endure them in battle. He cannot just run away. And how is a king's bull elephant one who goes? Here, the king's bull elephant quickly goes to whatever region the elephant trainer sends it, whether or not it has ever gone there before. It is in this way that a king's bull elephant is one who goes. So if the elephant trainer, or the king orders the elephant to go in a forest, he'll go in a forest. If he has ordered it to kind of cross a mountain, then he will cross the mountain also. In the Roman times, it is said that there was a general, I think Hannibal, who took elephants across the Alps and went to fight the Romans. So those elephants may have never encountered mountains in their natural habitat. But when they were asked to kind of climb the mountains, they climbed the mountains and went. And it was a kind of a victory for them, because they were surprised. They were not ready to fight elephants, the Roman army. So this is a kind of factor of the elephant, that wherever it is asked to go, even if it has never gone there before, there one goes. Possessing these four factors, a king's bull elephant is worthy of a king, an accessory of a king, and reckoned as a factor of kingship. So too bhikkhus, possessing four qualities, a bhikkhu is worthy of gifts, worthy of hospitality, worthy of offering, worthy of reverential salutation, and unsurpassed field of merit for the world. The unsurpassed field of merit for the world means that when somebody gives a gift or a dana to a bhikkhu sangha, he has more merit than any other thing he will be able to earn merit from. So that becomes the unsurpassed field of merit for the world. What for? Here a bhikkhu is one who listens, who destroys, who patiently endures, and who goes. So it can be said, I'll replace the word bhikkhu with a student over here. Here a student is one who listens, who destroys, who patiently endures, and who goes. So like a bull elephant who is asked to kind of listen instructions, to destroy, to endure, and to go. In the same way, the Buddha is saying that a student who is there on the path of the Dhamma has to have these 4 qualities. And how a student is a student? One who listens. Here, when the Dhamma and discipline proclaimed by the Tathagata is being taught, Dhamma and Vinaya, which is that discipline of the monks, is being taught, a student heeds it, attends to it, directs his whole mind to it, and listens with eager ears. It is in this way that a student is one who listens. So whenever there is a talk which is going on, whenever there is a teaching which is being given, whenever there is a Dhamma kind of sharing which is being done, when that is being done, one should give one's ear. That means that one should give their attention to whatever is being said, and retain that information, to grasp that information, and be able to kind of even remember. The mindfulness which is there is called sati in Pali. Sati has memory in it. To remember is an important factor for the person who wants to practice. So if somebody, we are talking about 6 hours, say, most of the time Bhante is also saying that you have to know and how to do the 6 hours is there. So when initially in the retreat, when we see that initially the days when we are teaching the 6 hours, the first day, second day, they are given a time to practice, they have given notes, they have given a full chart of 6 hours. But on the third day, when they come to us for interviews, they still ask questions about the 6 hours, and they still kind of are not clear about the concept. So one has to be clear about what is being taught. If they are able to listen, then they can grasp, and if they are able to grasp, then they can practice. They can do the actions which are required. And how is a student one who destroys? Here, a student does not tolerate an arisen sensual thought, but abandons it, dispels it, terminates it, and obliterates it. So what a person does is, if there is a thought of sensual thought means any sense factors, which is the eye, ear, nose, tongue, feeling, or the mind thoughts. Any of those thoughts which come, those are hindrances. Why are they hindrances? Because they hinder our practice. So those thoughts are considered hindrances. When those come, what you have to do is, when you recognize, you release. When you release, you relax and smile and return and repeat when it is needed. So that is what you do. You have to first be able to, when you recognize, you have to be able to release it. That means that you have to be able to abandon that, what has arisen. You have to be able to dispel it, terminate it, obliterate it, means let it go. Let that what has arisen, let it go. Bhante Vimalaramsi used to say that the only time you are not in meditation is when you recognize that you are on a distraction and you continue with that thought. That is the only time you are not doing meditation. Even if it takes 50 times, you have to your mind gets distraction, and 50 times you have to come back to the object of meditation by doing 6 hours. Still, this meditation is a good meditation. But only time it is not a good meditation is when you recognize, but you do not abandon it. You do not kind of release it. So that is the time you have to kind of know that this sensual thought has arisen in me, and this I have to release. Then he does not tolerate an arisen thought of ill will, but abandons it, dispels it, terminates it, and obliterates it. So if there is a thought of ill will, then also they will let it go. He does not tolerate a arisen thought of harming, but abandons it, dispels it, terminates it, and obliterates it. So even if there is a thought of harming, because currently the situation in the world is that there are a lot of strong views are there. There are a lot of fighting which is going on in the world. There are many places where wars are being fought. So why is this being done is when there is a desire for in the person which is coming, that this person or this nation or this group of people do not wish well for us, or I want that. The greed is there. Then what happens is next is the war happens, because everything starts with a thought or the perception. So in Majjhima Nikaya 18, Hanibol Sutta, that also the Buddha is teaching us that how this all wars start, how does the fighting start. All this starts because we do not abandon what has come up. When there is a perception, and through the perception there is a proliferation of thoughts, and when these thoughts are crystallized, then it becomes into an action. Action is the fighting is there, the murdering is there, the attacks are there, all those things, taking up of the stick is there. So those things which are happening is happening because of not being able to abandon those things, not being able to know the right effort, not being able to know the 6R, how to 6R those thoughts which are arising. He does not tolerate any other bad, unwholesome states. So any other bad, unwholesome states are any state or any kind of thought which is there, which are self-harming. They are harming to oneself or they are harming to the other. So if in both the cases, when that is a situation, then that is considered to be unwholesome. So any harmful thoughts towards oneself is also to be abandoned. Any harmful thoughts or any things which may be unwholesome or give pain to others, also those thoughts have to be abandoned. That arisen from time to time, but abandons them, dispels them, terminates them, obliterates them. It is in this way that a student is one who destroys. So certain times the Buddha uses strong words, like in case of anger. In Samyutta Nikaya, one of the suttas, the Buddha says that I do not talk about violence, or but I give a permission to kill if there is a anger which comes up. So you have to immediately kill that anger. So the Buddha uses that strong word of killing for anger, because the Buddha says that there is no other emotion in the world which has caused more harm than the emotion of anger. So all kind of wars are started because of anger. All kind of fights which are started because of anger. So the anger is the emotion which is the most destructive emotion. So whenever it comes, you have to abandon it. You have to kill it. You have to obliterate it. So any unwholesome emotions which comes, you have to be aware. So it is all about 6 R's over here. So it is about right effort. So there is an unwholesome thing which has come up. You recognize it, you release, relax, resmile, return, and repeat only when it is needed. So you continue your practice. And how is a student one who patiently endures? Here, a student patiently endures cold and heat, hunger and thirst, contact with flies, mosquitoes, wind, the burning sun, the serpents, rude and offensive waves of speech. He is able to bear up with arisen bodily feelings that are painful, racking, sharp, piercing, harrowing, disagreeable, sapping one's vitality in this way, that a student is one who patiently endures. So the Buddha is saying that one should also be able to endure. So Bhante Vimalaramsi, kind of first day of the introduction, he makes it clear about the physical pain and the meditation pain. So the Buddha is mainly talking about meditation pain. Also, he talks about the physical pain. Certain times the meditation hall which is there is too cold, or if it is too hot, then you have to be patient with that situation. And certain times in meditation, you get those painful feelings which are there. And those painful feelings also have to be endured. If they are meditation pain, then more so. Okay. Because when you are able to kind of get over that hill of pain, then you will be able to find that those things which are there, they are impersonal. Your reactions which were there were impersonal. So there is a the pain comes as a hindrance. And Bhante Vimalaramsi says that the pain is a hindrance, but a hindrance is not your enemy. A hindrance is your friend, because it teaches you where your attachments lie. So it teaches you about your attachment to certain things. And when you know those attachments are there, then you are able to let go. You are able to see the reality of those attachments. You are able to see that those attachments are also kind of impersonal. Okay. And when you are resisting something which is there, which is the truth, that is the time when you are creating dukkha. That is the time you are creating suffering. So the famous example the Buddha gives is somebody gets hit by an arrow. There is pain, physical pain, that is not avoidable. But all the lamentation, sorrow, grief regarding the arrow. Why was it me? Why is this so paining? I want it to stop. All this is like adding a second arrow to the same foot, and that is suffering. That is the additional mental suffering which we are creating. So the dukkha which is creating by that arrow is for ourselves, and it is making of oneself. So we have to be careful and be able to endure what is there in our practice. And when you endure that, you go beyond your practice. You know where your attachments lie. And then by that, you are able to let go of those attachments and progress in your practice. And how is a student one who goes? Here, a student quickly goes to that region where he has never before gone in this long stretch of time. So the Buddha is saying that not just where the student is willing to go, where he has not been on this lifetime, but on this long stretch of time. Means in this samsara, when he has been over here in a long time. So some of the similes the Buddha gives for explaining how many times we have been over here as a human. Human birth is itself very one in a trillion opportunity to be born as a human. But how many times were we born as a human being? One example the Buddha gives is if this whole earth was turned into an ocean, okay, and that whole volume of water were supposed to be the tears which you had in the past shed for your relatives, not for losing money or losing an opportunity or losing something valuable, just for losing your relatives. The tears which you have kind of used up, that tears, if they had to be collected, that would fill up this whole earth as a one big ocean. So you can just imagine how many lifetimes as a human being we have been over here. So Buddha is saying a very kind of a profound thing, that in the whole stretch of your life, in this samsara, where you are not have gone, you are willing to go over there. So I will read this once again. Here a student quickly goes to that region where he has never before gone in this long stretch of time. That is to stilling of all activities, the relinquishment of all acquisitions, the destruction of craving, dispassion, cessation, nibbana. It is in this way that a student is one who goes. So one is ready to go to place where he has never gone before, is a place of nibbana, to a place of relinquishment of all activities. All activities are all the grasping which we are doing of I want it, I don't want it, all those things which are going on continuously in the life. He kind of that is stilled over there. The relinquishment of all acquisitions. So I want this, or I want to become a kind of God, or I want to become a this person or that person, or I want to be a king, or I want to be a prime minister. All those acquisitions are there. Those acquisitions are relinquished. So they are given up. The destruction of craving, dispassion, cessation. So there is all destruction of the craving which is there. So all those things which starting with craving. The noble truth, the four noble truths which are there, it starts with there is suffering. There is a reason for suffering, that is craving. There is a cessation of suffering, that is the relinquishment of craving. And there is a path leading to the cessation of suffering, that is the eightfold path. So we kind of say that 6 hours has the qualities of the eightfold path. So when you are continuously doing 6 hours, the Bhante Vimalaramsi used to say that when you are doing 6 hours once, that means that you are having a mini nibbana, that is a mundane nibbana. So that craving comes, that comes as a tension and tightness. When you relax, that craving is let go. So that's a mini nibbana. So when you are doing this for 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, a million times, then after that you will get to a place where you will actually experience the cessation. Actually, the cessation experience is there. Once the cessation experience, you are coming back, you will be able to see certain things which are happening as your mind is starting back once again. And that is called the experience of Nibbana. So everything starts up and you may experience what is happening over there. So that is the kind of a Nibbana, which you can experience. And when you are experiencing this on the first time, that is Sotapanna path. And when you experience it second time, that is Sotapanna fruition. In the same way, you can progress from Sotapanna to Sagdagami, Anagami, and an Arahant. So you will be able to progress in that manner. So you should be willing to go. It is something sorry, that one should be ready to be able to go over there. Nobody else can make you abandon your cravings. Nobody else can make you relinquish the acquisitions. It is one who has to do it oneself to kind of progress in the path. Possessing these four qualities, a bhikkhu is worthy of gifts, worthy of hospitality, worthy of offering, worthy of reverential salutation, and unsurpassed field of merit for the world. So this is the end of the sutta. So in this way, this sutta which is there is teaching us about the 4 things which are to be done. That is to be able to listen, to be able to destroy, to be able to endure, and to be able to go. So the Buddha is giving a very good example, and then it is linking it with our practice and how this can be done. So I've shared this document once again for people who may have come later. So this document I will also put below the YouTube, which will be there. I'll put a link and put this on the Google Drive. So everybody can get that document who may not be over here or may not have been able to download it. They will be able to get. So currently, if there are any questions, we'll be open to questions. Yes.
Bhante, thank you so much. I have a question that's actually not directly related to this sutta.
Yes, yes.
So in today's challenging times, a lot of people are breaking the fourth precept, particularly telling lies. I feel as a way to kind of protect themselves out of fear of the unknown, because they don't know how else to protect themselves. So how can we practice, because we know TWIM, right? So how can we practice so that we are not duped by them or not led wrongly by them? I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is very difficult when the other person is lying, because what happens is that a normal human tendency is that to believe. Okay, and that is the reason the con man started. The way it was, the full form was confidence man. So a person in, I think, New York City went and stood in a street, and he started talking to somebody, random person. How are you and everything. And then he said that, do you trust people? So yes, I trust people. So I want you to trust me and give me your watch. Tomorrow at the same time, I will be over here and you can take back your watch. And people used to actually give their watches to him. And then the next day, definitely he would be standing in some other street and talking to some other person and doing the same thing. So then this kind of word spread around that this is happening. And then somebody kind of put an article that is a confidence man, that is con man. And then there are all those schemes which are going on of Ponzi schemes are there. There also, this is the thing which is there. Because in a human interaction, our daily life, we have less kind of fear of being duped, or we are kind of able to kind of get over those small things which are there, white lies which are said. But Bhante Vimalaramsi used to say that the white lies which are there are the foundations for the darker lies which are coming later. So you should not also kind of do the white lie. So one can protect oneself, but one cannot kind of be able to protect others, because one has to practice the 5 precepts for oneself. If one is practicing, that itself is the protection for us. So the Bhante Vimalaramsi used to say that if you take care of the Dhamma will take care of you. One of the principles of the Buddha was also that if the monk is there, is he getting what he needs? That is one of the way of saying that monk is a good monk. He has a good karmic actions. So that is the reason he is not in trouble. So if he is getting the 4 requisites on time, then he is considered to be a good monk. So one of the things the Buddha says is, are you getting kind of food on time? Are you getting the medicine on time? Are you getting the robes on time when needed? Are you getting the shelter on time when needed? So if that is happening, then that is a way of looking at that you are protected. You are well kind of given whatever is needed in your holy life. So in that sense, what happens is that you are able to kind of be a master of your own actions, but you will not be able to be as good as predicting. And there is one book by, I think, one Gladwell. There is one Sam Gladwell or something like that. There's an author who has written a book about how people are really not able to kind of know if the other person is lying. Okay, so he gave examples. I read a little bit about it. He gives examples of anti-spying. There is a term for it. So there are spies are there. Then there are a department in the spy. There are to find the those spies, in their own. So they are trained to sniff out the people who lie, but they have failed miserably. And many times, many examples he gives, that there was one Cuban spy. There was a lady who was there. She was interviewed also. She was caught with some information. And then she kind of lied her way out of it. Then after that, she was again caught. They had raided her apartment and they caught all those equipment. And it was just lying in a shoebox. She was not a genius or something like that. She was a normal person, but she could lie to the kind of biggest agency in the world, CIA. Their officers were like the carrier officer who had his career about finding people who are lying to the government and to the agency. So that is not possible, kind of he concludes, that because the human instinct is that to trust others. So certain times when we are duped, it is something which you should kind of let go and not kind of blame oneself, because those certain things we cannot master unless maybe we have psychic energy or something like that, or we have to trust the Dhamma, that when you take care of the Dhamma, then the Dhamma will take care of us. One example of this is the Buddha says that there was one time when there was no the Buddha Dhamma was not there, but there were a group of 33 people who said that we will keep the precept, we'll not kill, we'll not lie, not have misconduct, we'll have right speech. And they accumulated so much merit that heaven was made, a heaven of the 33, because they were the first residents, 33 residents of that heaven. So that heaven of the 33, the name came because of those, just because keeping the precepts has so much merit. So the Buddha says that if you keep the 5 precepts and contemplate on the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, what is the Buddha, what is the Dhamma, what is the Sangha, you just have a contemplation of those things, then you can consider yourself as a Sotapanna. So there is a lot of power in following the precepts oneself. So, but we are not able to say if the other person is deceiving, because it is kind of very easy to deceive others. Because human nature is that we kind of believe at face value. Okay.
Bhante, I would like to ask you one question.
Yes.
This is with regard to yoga.
Yeah.
And people are living for 600, 500 years or 300 years or something like that, more than 100 years.
Correct.
And they are available in our Himalayas also.
Correct.
And yoga book also says there are 3 types of mudras. Maha Vedha, Maha Mudra, Maha Bandha.
Okay.
These 3 are, they will be doing on a regular basis, and it will take care of all the diseases of the body.
Okay.
And these people are not interested to get into another life or yoni.
Okay.
That is why they continue to be there. If I am at 20 years, I will have a lot of ambitions and whatever it is, the passion or anything. But at the age of 60, this body will not permit, and also my way of living is different. That is why those people continue to be there for more than 100, 200, 300, 600 years. Devarho Baba of Vrindavan, he lived for 600 years.
Correct.
But I never saw anything in our the Buddha Suttas.
Correct.
Can you, because before Buddha also this yoga was there.
Yes, that was there, and but the Buddha says that the age of this era is 100 years, and maybe because of certain things, people can like by doing yoga. There was, I think, one thing I got interested in this spiritual kind of people who are living for long lives. There was one president of India, the first president of India.
Yes.
He said that when he was a kid, he visited a Baba.
Devarho Baba, he visited.
He visited.
He was there at Vrindavan, and he died in 1990, finally.
1990. After that president had already passed away. So that means that definitely he had that 200-year gap of that period he may have lived, and he was considered to have lived a lot before that. He was considered 150 years when he had one. So there were instances of that. But the Buddha says that a long life in itself is not kind of leading you to awakening. So long life which is there is not the only reason.
Not the long life, because of the long life, whatever I have the tendencies are what you call the earlier life karma.
Correct.
Life's karma. These
I think your audio, I think video has stuck. So I'll just speak about karma a little bit. So your video got stuck, but I understood what your question was. That because of the long life, their karmas can be kind of burnt up. So, but Buddha rejects that kind of argument also, because of Nagantanatha Putta also had that Jains also have that concept, and they used to torture themselves. You know, we are shaved heads, so they also have shaved heads. Jain monks, but they pluck each hair out of one by one. So that is very painful, no? Plucking one by one hair. So that action, the pain which is considered to be burning of the karma. Then they will stand, yes.
But they not ascetic practices. Not because of ascetic practices.
Okay.
Because at the age of 60, I am taking a little food. But at the age of 20, with a lot of enthusiasm, whatever I have, I was different person at the age of 16 now. If I continue to be there for 200 years or 300 years, I know the moral way of living, and I live for the sake of only exhausting my karma. That is what they are writing in our text.
But that would not happen
not
because you do
ascetic
not.
practices.
So that way also you will be able to kind of give up certain things which are there, but the seeds which are there, the Buddha says that the seeds which are there has to be destroyed. The seed is to know how it arises, those desires, how it arises. If you have lived our life for say 100 billion years or something like that, or 100 trillion years we have lived our lives, and we have been reborn say many hundreds and thousands of times, the Buddha gives one more example, is that if somebody was to remember 100,000 previous lifetimes, and every day he is to do that for 100 years, he will still not have seen all his lifetimes. So that is the lifetime we have lived. So what are the karmic accumulation in those period of time we have accumulated? That you have to understand. And then what the Buddha is teaching is about the process, the how it arises, how it kind of goes away. What are the kind of gratification which is there? What is the danger? What is the escape? So in this way, the Buddha is teaching the whole process of how those attachments are arisen and how we can recognize and let it go. So this 6R process is the central to recognizing those cravings and let it go. Just being able to intellectually understand and kind of calm your mind is not the solution. Like one of the cases was, there was a Brahmin who was considered himself a Arahant, because he had no thoughts of ill will, he had no thoughts of kind of craving, he has no thoughts of kind of delusion which are there. But he had those seeds which are there still in the mind. So the one Deva came and said that you are not still an Arahant. You have to go to the Buddha and ask him and take teaching from him. Then he went to the Buddha, and Buddha gave him a short teaching. But when they gave the short teaching, he understood what was the thing which he was holding on to, because he was very pure. He had his pure activity was there. He was a 100-year-old Brahmin, and he had all the practices, and he lived a moral life. So he was pure in his actions, but the mental attachment which was there was still there, which would have caused a rebirth. But once he went to the Buddha and taught this, the central thing is to understand the craving. And when he understood, oh, this is what I am holding on to, and let go. And he let go, that same instant he became an Arahant. So that is the reason certain times when somebody comes to the Buddha gives him teaching, and that same teaching he becomes an Arahant, because there are other things which he has already taken care of. Okay, so one other thing about long life is the Buddha says that one of the times the lifetime of the human was 60,000 years. And the teacher used to say that you see this rain, it is forming bubbles. That is the time you have in your life, just popping of the bubbles. And you have to strive for your kind of practice. And Buddha says that that was there when he was 60,000 years, that human life was there. We have 100 years. It can be maybe extended to say 200 years, maybe to 600 years. But still it is less than 60,000 years. Still you need a Buddha's teaching to kind of escape, because this central part of craving, how this process is there. The problem, the formula of that is you recognize the problem, recognize the reason for that problem, recognize the solution for the problem, and recognize the path leading to the solution. So that is, there is suffering, There is a cause for the suffering, that is craving. There is a solution, that is you have to give up this craving. And there is a way to reach the giving up the craving. You cannot just say, I give up craving. That is also not possible. You know it is craving, but you cannot do that. You have to have a process to reach that. Yes.
These people have the attachment or craving with them. That is why they are continuing their life without understanding it. That is the what I understood from you. That's why they are continuing for hundreds of years.
Yeah. So there are certain things which are seeds. Seeds are not destroyed.
It should be also a karma, because I am continuing my life for hundreds of years. That should be there in my back of my karma.
Yeah, some karmic must be there, and you have taken the kind of benefit of the karma. One of the suttas in Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha says that if you are doing some other practice, you go to first jhana, you may be reborn in a Brahmaloka. After the time is finished, you will be reborn in a hell realm. Why? Because you are not practicing correctly. You are going into a one-pointed concentration and going into a jhana state. But when you are following the Buddha's teaching, there also you will progress. Even if you are reborn, you are not going more than, say, first jhana. You are perfect in the first jhana. You always repeat the first. You do not fall below the first jhana. At the time of death, you are able to be in the first jhana. Then you are able to be reborn in a Brahmaloka. When you are reborn in a Brahmaloka, still your progress goes on, because you have the key formula with you of knowing what arises, what is going away. But once somebody say earns a lot of from lottery, what happens is, we see in this real life also, when you go and research those lottery winners, most of them go bankrupt. So most of them had a good life before they won a lottery. When they won a lottery, they had a lot of things for a short time. After that, they go bankrupt. So why does that happen? Because they use up all the money which they had. In the same way, you may earn a karmic kind of balance, but you may just lose those balance in the 600 years you are staying. And then you are reborn where the next chapter of your karma takes you.
So their contention is wrong. That's what we can conclude.
So that is the view. That is the Brahmajala Sutta, which Buddha says that there are many reasons why wrong views are formed.
Wrong views are formed. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So any other questions? Yes.
Yes.
Nice to see you after a long time.
Yes, a long time. I have a question about meditation.
Yeah.
I'm quite good at putting pressure on myself, so to speak. So then meditation becomes less fun, right? And I've been trying to work around it by reducing the time I'm sitting. So I do the 6 directions, and then maybe like 5 minutes. So in total, like 35 minutes. And that's, for me, it's still fun. And then maybe in a natural way, it will grow. That's my idea.
Okay.
I would, my question is, what do you think of it? And maybe, do you have any advice for me?
See, one thing you can do is, Sister Kema has this new book come out, Nevermind Game. So one of her students is doing that. And he says that it kind of benefits him. Okay. So because when you are doing certain activity, that has to be a habit, say like lifting of weights. Okay. A person goes to a gym, works half an hour and comes back. And he has a certain physical attributes which he kind of makes. But when you go to a construction site, those people are not going to a gym or anything like that. But they are buffed, they are strong, and they can do things. They may not look good, sometimes, but they are much more stronger, much more muscular than a person who goes to a gym for half an hour. Okay, so the practice has to be continuous, as much you can bring it into life. That will kind of refine the practice. So the Bhante's first book or second book was Life is Meditation, Meditation is Life. So how to bring this meditation into life? So she's kind of making it a little more kind of easier. She's saying never mind. So when you recognize and release, she is kind of putting it in one chapter, never mind, relax, re-smile and return. Okay, so she's making it kind of simpler for the daily practice in the life. Okay, so by doing that, you are aware. Bhante used to give this practice of smiling to his students. So one student came and said that, oh, this one day I could only do it for 3 times. So Bhante said that it's very good. It is kind of infinitely more than 0 times, so normally you are not deliberately smiling in the day, but by doing it 3 times, you are started the process. The next day you may do it for 4 times, next day you may do it for 5 times, and that would make a kind of increase. But even if you are striving and doing it for 3 or 4 times, you'll see that your sitting experience changes, because your awareness and the habitual tendencies are there has started to kind of shift gears. By taking this practice into life, you will be able to kind of enhance your sitting experience also. And by as currently we kind of said that how one has to endure. So the middle path is a middle path because of the extremes should be avoided. So certain times what happens is certain times you have to endure certain things. That may be the middle. Okay, and certain times you have to kind of back out and relax more. That could be middle. So you have to adjust your practice in a way that it does not become a burden and it does not over kind of emphasize certain things. If you overemphasize kind of calmness and being relaxed, then that also kind of may be a lopsided practice, So you have to adjust, and you have to be able to do the appropriate amount of effort which is required for the practice. So you have to adjust, and it is like walking on the rope. When you walk on the rope, you don't know how much you should be in the left or how much you should on the right. So there is certain time you will take to adjust and know what your balance is. Then you will be able to stand on that rope. There is many times there is no instructions which we can give on the rope, if somebody is walking on the rope. So in that same way, we cannot give you an instruction of what is the middle. The middle is your middle. So my middle is different from your middle. So you have to kind of do a little bit of this activity to find your middle and continue. But by doing the never mind game, it will help.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you please post that particular book in our app?
Yes.
I have done that. I'll do it once again. I'll see if I have that. I normally have that, but sometimes I don't know where it is there.
Bhante, any updates on Sister Kema and Bhante Vimalaramsi?
Bhante, there was last update was I think sometime back. He was there in the nursing home and he was doing well. He had a problem with the kidneys, but I think he kind of is surviving. He did not want a procedure to be done. I think they put a catheter directly from that thing, and they have to. So he did not want all those burden. So, but he's kind of is doing well. He's talking less. He's eating less. He has protein shakes. He's having more of those protein shakes. Sister Kema I spoke to yesterday, I think so, or day before yesterday I spoke to. She was not well for a few days, but now she has the fever has gone, and she is a little bit weak. And around 15 days back or something like that, she had also gone out for some of her students were there. They took her out and for some lunch. So she is able to walk. She was still able to walk when I spoke to her 2 days back also. So she's a little bit there, but she's weak, but she has continuing. Her it is going on. We definitely we are not able to kind of predict because she has kind of proven us wrong many times and survived. She's very strong. It's continuing. Yes.
Bhante, the Nevermind game, I've just posted in the Twin Asia WhatsApp group, so
Oh,
you
very
don't
good.
have to, yeah.
Very good. Okay. Sadhu. So, yeah, so, and the books we have received 500 copies in India and 100 copies from Malaysia. So 600 copies we have received. So we'll try and distribute those books. Australia, I think we had asked for 200 copies or 300 copies, I don't know. And 200 copies, I think, for US. So that must, yes.
Sorry, Bhante, can we have the shipping info,
I'm sorry.
this thing?
I'll write them just now after this, because I have to thank them also for receiving. I have not thanked them for getting that. And I think they had printed 5,000 copies. They gave us 7,000 copies, but in that it has written as first print as 5,000 copies. So they have some copies where directly they can kind of request also. So I'll give that detail also. So some person is there who is there other than these countries, they can directly ask them for that book and they will ship them, like in Europe and all those places. So I'll check with Hugh also if he can take some copies back, if he has say 30 kgs as luggage and he has only 20 kgs and 10 kgs worth of book he can take to UK. And maybe he can also help distribute over there. So that book is we'll try and distribute that, and maybe we can have a way of somebody volunteering to post it, you know, in India. So whoever kind of give the address and something like that, you can post. We'll find out a way after some time. Okay. Okay, then we'll share the merits now. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu. Okay.
The bell didn't sound, Bhante.
Huh?
Your
Not
bell
very...
didn't.
Oh.
Still no sound.
No? Oh, okay. Then let me. Then this is because I keep it because of Sister Khema, you know. She likes this bell, so I want to hit the bell. Okay. Okay, thank you for everybody for coming. Sadhu, sadhu, Thero, sadhu.